Hey, good morning guys. Got another box in the mail. Take a look at this one. Nice big box. But you want to know what's in it? Well, I got a good idea. But before we open this up, let's go over to the kitchen table over there. And I got a few things I'd like to show you. It's this little thing, like a disposable camera. I used these back in the early 90s to mid 90s. I used to have a lot of parties at my house, and what I do is I buy a bunch of these things at Walmart or some drugstore and hand them out to everybody. Then at the end of the night, they turn them back to me and I develop them the next day, and you hope that at least 50% of the shots were, you know, good enough. So anyway, I did this for a long time, you know. And so here's some examples of those disposable cameras. As you can see, the quality isn't really all that great, but you know, I did what I did at the time. But moving on, I guess my family felt sorry for me because they saw us getting really into photography, so they pulled their money together one Christmas, both my sisters and my mom and dad, and they purchased this camera right here. This is a Canon, what is it, EOS Elan 7. It's a film camera, and what's nice is, you know, you can buy all these big zoom lenses, but it's old. You know, it's, in fact, the mechanisms are broken, so you know, it's time to throw it away. But I'm keeping the zoom lenses, and I'll tell you why later. So here's some examples of my Canon film camera. Obviously the quality of the photos are much better when compared to a disposable, but hey, what do you expect from a disposable, right? I'm guessing it was like early 2000, 2001, somewhere in that time frame. I was dating this girl named Evelyn. Well, she's not all that evil. I guess she felt sorry for me, seeing me lugging this big camera around everywhere we went, because it was Evelyn who got me interested in the road trip stuff that you see on my website, the Texas Roadrunner website. So I guess it was a Christmas or my birthday, and she bought me this. It's an Olympus, but this time it's not a film camera, it's a digital camera, and for the day it was a very good digital camera. It doesn't do, you know, video or anything like that. It's just a straight still camera. But it got me through, I guess, the last 50% of the Texas Roadrunner website. If you go on there, as time goes by, 50% of the way, or after half of the way, I'm starting to use this a lot. Not only that, I use this primarily on the Lone Star Mineshaft website that I use to sell my lapidary gemstone products on, and to promote them online, and also when I work the art and craft shows. So anyway, over time, you know, this wore out too. And here's some examples of the my first digital Olympus camera. It was good for small road trips and of course my website development at the time. Getting into the next camera, I'll just talk about the old iPhone 3. I think when the iPhone 4 came out, I got this for like $48, $49, but it does do, you know, reasonably well picture taking for its time, and it did do video. It wasn't the greatest, but anyway, I guess around 2012, I had a bunch of points saved up on Amazon.com, and it was like the Black Friday sale on Amazon, right? So I got this camera, and this is again a digital camera, and for its day it was very good, and it does do video, but it doesn't do video very well, and the audio for the video doesn't do well at all. What I was trying to find was a pretty good replacement for this Olympus. So as you can see, they're both kind of really small, and you can carry them around just about anywhere. And that's what I liked about it, because Evelyn kind of put in my mind, you know, when you go on road trips, you don't want to be carrying a whole bunch of heavy stuff. So I'll talk about this a lot later on, about in some of my other camping equipment and fishing equipment, I want stuff to break down real nice and easy so I can put a lot in my truck or vehicle or whatever. So this did fairly well with me. It's still a good camera. I'm probably going to give it to my mom. But before, I actually missed one camera. When I had this camera and it was starting to break down and go slow, my cousin Kenny sold me his digital camera. And this is a Canon EOS digital camera. I think it came out around 95, 97. I want to say around 1997. This was really high tech in its day. I think at the time it was like a $5,000 camera, especially with some of these zoom lenses and stuff. This camera still works. My only big complaint is the rubber grips here. Over time they got sticky, and now you get black stuff all over your hands. And the same thing happened to my film camera, my very first big old film camera. The rubber grips here is falling apart and you get black all over your hands. So like I said, this is going in the trash. Hopefully, maybe there might be a fix or workaround for this. I don't know. I mean, I hate to throw away a camera that one time was worth $5,000, but I only paid, I think Kenny sold it to me for like $500, and he went and bought the next best thing way back then. I think I picked this one up, I want to say about 2011, I think. And still a good camera, but in moving on, you know, today's digital cameras that you can buy, for example, well, like this one here, you get the same quality. And like I said, it's a digital camera, and I also can do video with it, but it's not all that great with video, and and the audio with the video is not all that great. So as I progressed on phones, I got the new you know, iPhone 6, I think it is. This is great for picture taking and for video. However, one drawback is it wants light. So I've done some night stuff with this, especially in my truck. It's not very good for light, and I did some work around later, and I'll show you what happened. Now, let's see what came after that. I wanted to get into those GoPro cameras. So my first GoPro was obviously like a GoPro 3, and at the time I guess it was okay, but it had some limitations, right? You probably read about the GoPro 3. It used Bluetooth and not Wi-Fi, which I hated. I always hate anything with Bluetooth. And the batteries did not last very long at all. And there were some workarounds, like you could get a battery pack for this to extend your filming time. And one other thing, it did not do well in low light conditions. For example, if you want to do sunsets or sunrises or things like that, it didn't do very well. So I knew I was going to go ahead and when the GoPro 4 came out and solved a lot of these problems, I knew I was going to get one. And I did. Here's the GoPro 4. This is the black one. It does 4K, and it does pretty good in low light conditions. Plus, they kind of solved that battery issue, but when I use it in this configuration, hooked up to this gooseneck, and put it on my visor, that's how you guys have been seeing all that time-lapse photography in my videos where I'm driving down some highway or through the city or whatever. And it does, again, of course, when I have it in my truck, I have it powered to my, my power accessory adapter, so I don't really have to worry about losing power. But I did buy a battery pack for this so that when I don't have it plugged in, I can extend my filming time. So it was time to take the next best step, and going back to the iPhone, I did a lot of still pictures, like on my art and craft projects. I would take lots of pictures of the various phases, And so if you look at the do-it-yourself projects and the shadow boxes and the dioramas, all that was done on this. So it does a pretty good job. So I wanted to move on to bigger and better things. You know, this digital camera had a lot of limitations, no video, and of course the film camera, that was shot. So the next step was getting a new DSLR camera. Now this came out like in last year, a year before. It's the EOS 80D, and I know there's that Mark IV whatever thing out there now. It costs like, you know, $4,000, and I chose this because I was watching a bunch of Casey Neistat videos. He does a lot of video photography around New York City, and you know, he's going through camera equipment left and right, and he was doing one of his tech tips and showed how at a certain level, you know, where you're spending like $1,000 all the way up to $5,000, the quality is not that much better. You probably get more features, but you know, this will do the job for you. And of course, this is a still camera too, plus a video camera. But I felt like I needed a little bit more, and so I'm going to stop this recording and record on this camera, but talk about this camera later, because I want to show you the camera that is recording me now. So this is my Sony AX100. I primarily got this one because I wanted to shoot video in 4K as opposed to using the GoPro. And I have a little shotgun mic there. I think that's a Rode. And here's where I got a bunch of little bitty buttons, and they are kind of tough to push. And but the other neat thing about this is that I can do night shooting. It does come in a green format, but you know, it's okay. We're back on the Sony cam. The only thing I don't like about the Sony cam is the little buttons that you turn things on and off. They're very, very small, and you know, I'm a small guy, I got small hands, but it's still a problem for me to turn things on and off. So that's the only other thing I don't like about it. But other than that, for the price range, it's been great. We're almost finished here. I mentioned that, you know, I like these smaller little cameras because, you know, when I go into a store or something, I want to film something, or in a restaurant, I want to film something, you want to be discreet. And that's where the iPhone 6 does real well, because people think, hey, it's a phone, you're not, you know, taking pictures of them, you know. But anyway, you know, as good as the iPhone 6 is for certain things, but like I said earlier, it doesn't do very well in light, low light conditions. So I decided to pick up this camera. This is another Canon, a G7X, and I can't remember what I paid for. I think it was maybe high 200s in the 300 range, but it's kind of like this. You know, it's nice and small. And another nice thing is, it does better in low light conditions. The video is much better, and the audio is much better than the Sony Sure Shot here. So I've been using this quite a lot. My problem with this is that it takes a while to refocus when it's in automatic focus, so I have to be real careful with it. It's like I don't move, you know. I don't like in box openings, I'm showing you lures and stuff. This Sony cam does a whole lot better in refocusing than this does. This is kind of slow, so I don't like doing box reviews. I did one, I saw the problems, and I'm just going back to the Sony cam. But it's nice and small and discreet. The video quality is very good, and the audio is very good. Now, I used that camera to show off the Sony X, but This camera is right behind the window, and all this light is kind of like good for here, facing me, but not for that camera where it's sitting. All right, so we're coming up to the end here. I mentioned in, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, a kayak project that I'm working on. I want to put a bunch of cameras on it and mount them. And so I did buy additional GoPro cameras. I got one black and I got one, the silver edition. Now the silver doesn't do 4K. It does good in the low light conditions, but it's not 4K. And well, it is cheaper too. But so on this 4K one, I have this battery pack here. It's called Refuel. I don't know whether you can see it or not. This is great. I got up to 12 hours of filming on this battery pack right here. So that's what I really like about it. And I know that the Hero 5 came out, but already had the Hero 4 and all those accessories and batteries. So I just decided to standardize on that. Maybe someday far down the road, when there's like a, I don't know, a Hero 6 or 7, I may upgrade again. But these cameras here, they're great. I don't have any complaints right now, you know. So I'm gonna stick with them. And let's see, I think that's it. So that's my love and hate relationship of all my cameras and video equipment. I don't think I'm gonna be buying any more cameras anytime soon. I think I got enough. In fact, I'm gonna be throwing some in the trash today because today is trash day. So you guys ready to see what's in the box? I know I am. Okay, so I wanted to take video photography to a whole new level. This box is from Drone World. So as you can imagine, there's a drone in here. I know the Phantom 3 was real popular, and then the Phantom 4 came out with a lot more features, a better camera system. And then there was this other one called, I think it's the Mavic. That's the one I got. Again, I got this based upon listening to Casey Neistat. And if I can find some of those videos, I'll put them down in the, or link them into the description below, because he has a lot of good information on camera and his philosophy on camera equipment. And so let's see if we can open her up. Looks like it's, I'm using a key. And I don't think firecrackers are gonna open up this. Additionally, they were supposed to send me like a little toy drone to experiment with and practice, but I don't know. See, I ordered this on some kind of sale thing they had like in early December, and I just got it last week. So I've been waiting on like most of December, January, February. Here it is, the end of March. So almost 4 months to get this. They were all in back order. All right. See what this says here. The DJI Mavic Pro, that's it. And some of the accessories that I got were, well, some accidental insurance. Let's see, another set of propellers. And I guess the rest of these accessories were part of the deal, like, you know, some batteries, a charging hub, a car charger, iPhone cable, a drone. Is there anything else? Oh, something's on back order. A DW battery bank, 1 to 2 weeks. So I don't have everything here, but let's see what we do have. Oh yeah, I got this backpack to store it in. I kind of like it because when you're out in the state parks, even national parks, you can put your drone in here, and when you find a place you want to do some aerial photography, then, you know, just take it off your back and go for it. Okay, this looks like that little mini drone toy that I can use to practice. So we'll put that aside. Here's a lanyard. Looks like this is that smartphone cord or something. Let's see. These are some extra propeller blades I bought because I'm sure I'm going to lose some, right? Fly More combo. I have a feeling this might be the controller. Oh no, this is a charger, charging hub. Yeah, this is for charging in your vehicle, and one of the batteries, another battery, more propellers, and some kind of adapter to a power bank that you can recharge to. So it looks like I'm having to wait on like a recharging bank. I guess it's a big battery or something. Okay, here it is. This is what it looks like. I've seen some people on YouTube use this, and how do I open this? Get the keys out. Okay, here's the little controller. And again, I really don't know a lot about this yet. I mean, you're seeing me open it up for the first time, basically. And here's the drone. My understanding, these things pull out, very compact. That's the other reason I bought it. Now the video is supposed to not be as great as the Phantom 4, but again, it's part of that philosophy where, you know, when you pay that little extra more, you're not losing that much quality. And after listening or watching the Casey Neistat videos on this, he says this is his #1 drone. So if he likes it that much more than the Phantom 4, then I'm glad I made this decision. So hopefully in some future videos, you'll see some aerial footage, but hey, give me a chance to learn how to fly first, okay? That's it for now, guys. We'll see you later. I'm Francis Kiefel, and I approved this video.